My name is Lola B, and you are tuning in to 30 Days of Glamour Magic, where for 30 days, which we are on day 3, I am going to be sharing glamour magic tips and techniques for you to add to your current spell work or grimoire. This is a teaching platform, so if you'd like to stick around, I would encourage you to get a notebook or writing utensil. We always do mirror work, so have your reflective surface, which mine is covered by my black cloth because we seal the portal until we work with it to open it again. So have a reflective surface, a mirror, to be able to participate in the ritual and come with questions as well as insight, because I definitely love to hear anybody else's knowledge that they have acquired on the same topic. The one good thing about being a teacher is also being a student and knowing when is the time to do that. So I welcome anybody to get comfortable and to add some insight. Today's affirmation is I move in alignment. And we could go on to say with the natural rhythm of my life, each day meets me with the energy that I need. But that's today's affirmation for Wednesday. But let's go back up. Wednesday is about communication, education, and exchanging. So this is just perfect. Education, exchanging energy. So planetary alignment, going into every day what planet they're governed by, helping to have this roadmap for the next 30 days so you understand why it's important for us to break down the day and use the energy, why each day may feel different to you, and how the glamour magic actually becomes easier when you move with the day instead of against the grain. Like I said, you could do it however you would like to, but it's something special, magical, if you will, about being able to go with the current energy. We're not necessarily going to dive all deep into astrology necessarily, but we're trying to help you understand rhythm, because everything is in cycles. Monday comes around every single 7 days, right? Tuesday is going to come back around another 7 days. So the rhythm of the cycles and how energy does cycle back and forth, the way that energy travels is a whole oscillation. Oscillation is there and back. And so therefore, just acknowledging the rhythm and being in tune with it and being able to boost your manifestation power. But I did want to start out with a little bit of a meditation. Within the planetary energy, we focus on the color and the makeup as the glamour technique. We will start tapping into all the other types of glamour. Somebody popped in last night and wasn't sure if they understood different glamour techniques that they were already utilizing in their life, because they were like, oh, I'm not really into makeup. And I was like, well, what about adding scents, perfumes, wearing jewelry, and wearing certain clothing or colors of clothing, styling your hair a certain way? All of it is glamour magic. And so you would be surprised at how much you are participating in and don't even know. But I think once you become aware, then you can be more intentional. And that's where the power lies. I'm going to put on 528 hertz to help to get back in alignment with the solar plexus chakra. Let's get in alignment. This is the moon mood. And this is where we take light from the sun and live by the moon. So I do go by my moods. So go get my candle and let's just do some square breathing. Let's just get grounded before we begin. I grabbed a couple. We'll just see where we're led to. Definitely going to start with Prism Oracle deck, because we always start with the colors. I do have What's the Vibe, Cosmic Guidance, and Spiritual Symbols, just when we get to the actual reading part. And it's another exercise that I learned from that same therapist about really trying to identify and be in tune with each part of the body. But for the square breathing, I just want to sit with my feet firmly planted on the ground, sitting straight up, shoulders relaxed. And then there is a couple affirmations we could say as we are breathing as well. So inhale, hold it, exhale. And even if you feel like it's a push to the 6 seconds to push out, that last little bit of breath, go ahead and force it out, because that is the space that we need. We need that extra space for the release. After we do that about 4 or 5 times, you should start to feel, as you're releasing parts of your body, you should start to feel a little bit lighter. And where there is no stagnant energy, you won't be able to feel it at all. Where there is stagnant energy, you'll be able to feel the actual physical muscle or wherever the stagnant energy is. Definitely beneficial with the exhale to extend it for 6 seconds. My trick is to exhale through the mouth, for sure. Push it out. Our affirmation again is I move in alignment with the natural rhythm. Each day meets me with the energy that I need. When I move with the day, my presence unfolds with ease. Sometimes you just have to sit with yourself. Sometimes you just have to breathe. You don't have to say anything, but you can acknowledge every thought that comes across in the mental space. You can acknowledge where you feel any stagnant energy, any pain, or anything like that, so that you exactly where you need to focus your energy work on. Planetary days. Think about it, energy that's already built into the week. We're not really adding energy to it. We're just aligning ourselves with it or responding to how we feel. So we have every day of the week that corresponds with the different planets, and every planet corresponds with different zodiac signs, and those zodiac signs are different elements and different modalities associated with different colors, scents, chakras, herbs, plants, everything like that. So it's like the more you learn about it, the more you're able to utilize it. And it's about timing, not belief, because not everything that you come across in this realm you're going to believe, but it doesn't mean that those energetic fields and the aspect of it is not applicable to you. It's not already working in your life some way, somehow. So it's like when everything that you do matches and aligns with the energy of the day, your effort decreases. You're not going to have to try that hard. Right? So if on Wednesday I decide I'm wanting to wear yellow or gold because it goes with the solar plexus chakra, if I wanted to have a certain herbal tea that aligns with that day because I want to enhance my communication, so I'm going to utilize that for my throat chakra, something like that. You don't have to show up the same way every day to be consistent, because even though, like I said, you have a Monday that's going to come every 7 days, you have all these different associations the day that you can pull on. So it's just going to validate the emotional fluctuation because it doesn't stay the same. Energy in motion, and that means that it's always traveling. It's just at different speeds, different levels of the vibration. But every Monday doesn't have to be exactly the same. You can switch it up. But just, again, knowledge is power. So the more that you know, the more that you can utilize it. So let's just go through the days real quick. Very high level information about the 7 days of the week. We have, obviously, Sunday, associated with the sun, vitality, visibility, joy. Monday is the moon day, reflection, emotions, intuition. Mars day is Tuesday, courage, action, drive, assertiveness. You know what I'm saying? That's that. I have Monday as the feminine energy. Tuesday is the masculine energy. Made it all the way back around. Well, Wednesday is feminine and masculine energy. Mercury, communication, learning, exchange. Thursday, my favorite day of the week, because I was born on a Thursday. Jupiter actually rules Sagittarius, and I'm a Sagittarius sun and Venus. So I love Thursday. Thursday is expansion, abundance, luck, opportunity. I absolutely love Thursday. And the colors associated, I know, again, because of my other favorite colors, the birthstone, turquoise, like blues, greens. Friday, everybody knows Friday. Everybody loves Friday. Venus, love, beauty, harmony. Saturn's day, Saturday, boundaries, discipline, and most importantly, protection. A lot of people have been asking when they come in and out about the opening and the closing of the portals and what protection methods are used as it pertains to using the mirror magic. So that we'll be doing that on Saturday. So again, Sunday is the sun, Monday is the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury, Thursday is Jupiter, Friday is Venus, and Saturday is Saturn. And I know that's common knowledge. A lot of people already know that. So it's not necessarily a history lesson or anything like that. Just like an overview of the facts and the planetary alignment that's kind of part of universal knowledge has been passed down for a very long time. So usually the lives are aligning with the glamour magic and the makeup and the mirror work, but we're doing it according to the day's energy. That's what I always use. Now, it is a big step for me as well because I used to just focus on the moon's energy. I am a moon child / goddess. And so I studied it a lot and worked a lot with the moon. And I did a lot of new moon and full moon teachings, manifestation, intuition, intention setting, and being in tune with your higher self. So now we are opening up and to get more versed in. Now we're getting into making sure that we learn more and get deeper to the surface and use every single planet and not just the moon. I was being a little biased. I was favoriting the moon a lot. Some days are soft, some days are bold, but the whole point of it all is that every day is intentional. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of day does today want to be? What kind of day do I want it to be? How am I going to tap into that energy one way or the other to be able to, first off, just be, and second off, to accomplish whatever it is that I want to accomplish. I do want to make sure that I go over, we do have a code of ethics and we do have our rule of 3. And I always just remind it, whether we do the work in a live session or not, just to make sure you understand the way that we operate here at the Moon Mood. So this work is for self-embodiment, confidence, and personal alignment. Here at the Moon Mood, we work with clarity, consent, and care. We do not influence, manipulate, override anyone's free will, or cause any intentional harm. All the energy is grounded and returned to balance. That is our code of ethics here. Our rule of 3 with any of the spell work before we do any conjuring is, am I being specific? Will it harm me or anyone else? And am I willing to take responsibility? The reason why those are important, and I will always repeat them regardless of what work we do together, is because, number 1, am I being specific? If you know how manifestation works and you know how the universe responds to our energy, you can't just say you want a car, because then you're just going to get a car. But if you say, I want a 4-door, gray, all-wheel drive, navigation, you feel my drift? You got to be specific. We can manifest. We can align ourselves with what's already ours. We can pull things into this realm. We have the power to do all that. Wouldn't you want to be specific and go after exactly what it is? So that's manifestation. And I gave that example because I feel like people understand that more. When we're talking about spell work, it's no different, because spells in the general basic sense is the words that we speak. So then when we're talking about doing any type of magic, you also have to approach it the same way we do with the intentions and the manifestations. Don't just be saying any old thing. Be very intentional and be very specific. Positive, present tense. Next, will it harm me or anyone else? You have to know the risk in every and all things that you do. So if you are not in the habit of making sure that you research exactly any ramifications for whatever type of spell work that you are participating in or have asked other practitioners to do, then that's just not responsible. Which leads to the next one. Are you willing to take responsibility? Because we live in duality. This is cause and effect at play. For every action, there is a reaction, right? So that means that whatever conjuring I'm going to do, I have to be mature enough to say that I'll take responsibility for whatever happens as a result of the spell work that I'm doing. So our code of ethics and rule of 3 is always important, no matter what we do on the live, because it's important to just reinstate those and make sure that we are staying above the fray. I don't play around. The gods I reference, my cabinet of council, deities, goddesses, angels, ancestors, elementals, extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, we don't play around. Work support self-alignment and embodiment, and we don't override people's will. So this is important to make sure that, because I was trying to say my spirit team don't play, so I'm not going to do anything or guide anybody to do anything that I'm going to have to answer to when I turn this camera off and turn these ring lights off. You see what I'm saying? That's important to me as a practitioner. That's important to me as a healer. I have a responsibility to those that resonate with my soul essence. So I want to teach that too, because we all have the same gifts. I just might have more of an inclination for some of them. What if I'm blocked and not aligned with certain chakras? And that's the reason why I can't operate here or there. It's a continual effort as I'm incarnate into this body to be ever present, to learn, grow, and mature. So before we go ahead and transition, we already talked about the planets, and it's not like we could go deeper, but just talking about Wednesday overall, like I said, I wanted to pull some cards. So before we do that, just remind everybody, my name is Lola B, and you are tuned into 30 Days of Glamour Magic, where I am taking 30 days, this is day 3, well into the month of January, to be able to share glamour techniques and tips that you can add to your grimoire or current spell work. And it's a teaching platform. So have a notebook, have some supplies and tools, especially with the mirror work, reflective surfaces that we can open and close to be able to perform the rituals. And come with questions as well as your insight, because I believe that the best part about being a teacher is knowing that you are still a student. All right, so if you're either just joining or if you're sticking around for a second, let's just go ahead and jump to what I felt like I wanted to do, which was to pull some cards to go ahead and read the energy, and we're going to start with the Prism Oracle deck, which is basically just tapping into intuition with the magic of coloring. Spirit, ancestors, elementals, extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, Ikshel, Shakshel, Papalegua. Asking that you give messages that are clear and concise. No messages of ill or no intent, no trickster energy to throw us off, but we do welcome messages to heed. I'm loving it so far. Mystery, disruption, and growth came out, and then protection at the bottom of the deck. And so as we've been talking about magic, mystery come out. It's not a coincidence. Mystery is a level of unknown that we have to be comfortable with, even as uncomfortable as it may seem. And so Spirit is saying that it's just time to allow space for that, for the unknown, for the magic. And then disruption came out immediately after that. So it's like it's something that might be stopping you right in your tracks. Something that might be saying that now it's time to pivot for growth. That's what I'm hearing first. Let's go ahead and clarify to see what else these could specifically mean. Mystery, disruption, and growth. Bracing the unknown. I hear disruption being a tower moment. It may have been something specifically, a tower is very big. Towers aren't small, so something big may have happened that was just like, nope, can't go that way anymore. But it was all for the growth of it all. So let's go ahead and see what else we got. Mystery, disruption, and growth for the base energy. First card that came out was family, blood ties, inner circle. So maybe the something that happened, the disruption, the tower moment had to do with family, healing. And so the growth is going to propel the healing. The healing is going to propel the growth. Something that I heard, just really getting into the self-care of it all. So something happened with family, or something is happening. A disruption is making me, it is current. I hear it's happening. It's something that's happening. And it has to do with just realizing that now is the time to tap into some self-care. Maybe you're somebody that was investing a lot of energy into something or someone else, and it just wasn't healthy. Now it's time to take that inner look, do some meditation, and lean into some healing for yourself. Even if it has to do with family, children, spouses, because chaos came out, fell straight on the floor. There has been, and what Spirit is trying to help you to, that's what the tower moment that is actually happening, to get out of the energy of just this upheaval, just all this stuff being just mixed up. Because before I had, still, as I'm shuffling, we had gossip and rumors at the bottom of the deck. Somebody was just throwing up some mess, and maybe it was somebody in the family. Or maybe it was somebody you have a family with, some type of family dynamic, some type of blood tie, some type of inner circle. It could be friends. We do consider friends family. Something happened and it was just stirring up a lot of mess. And now you're now the tower moment is yet happening in order for disruption is literally cutting something off. I'm seeing in my mind, I'm seeing like you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off. That's a disruption. When I'm talking and somebody interjects without saying excuse me first, that's a disruption. So it's like, that's how abrupt Spirit is trying to bring you to this point of just cutting off that chaos. It's a tower moment that's happening, no matter who it involves. It's family, friends, somebody close to you or whatever, that's going to help you to be able to get back to the self-care of it all. And you are protected. Don't be afraid to go through this process. Because after the healing, in the middle of the growth, that's when everything that you're trying to manifest, that's when it happens. It's a misconception to think that, it's like, when I get healed, then I will. No, there's some things that are going to be happening in the middle of that is what I hear. In the midst of that. So if you don't feel like you're ready, you have to understand that you got to be decisive and make up your mind about exactly what you are trying to do. What life are you trying to live? What part of your reality are you discontent with? Where is all the chaos and the drama and the mess and the upheaval and the downfalls and things like that is time need to be identified. So once you're decisive, as we were talking about before, about being specific, about your manifestations and your spell work, you got to make up your mind first. Figure out what it is that you want. Figure out what type of life you want to live. On the floor again, y'all. Is it this? Is somebody need to cut out a nightlife? I said figure out what type of life you want to live, and then nightlife came out and fell on the floor. So is it somebody that is just engaging in some risky behavior? They need to take some time to slow down and get back into nature. Stop going out so much. Stop the vices, the drinking, the smoking, the gambling, that energy of whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, like just doing risky shit, and you just thinking like, oh, well, I only know I did it. I'm grown. I only know about it. Let's be responsible. You can't just be out here just doing any old thing. So figure out, because maybe you've been living in such a way where God is just like, you're not getting the results that you want because of the life that you live in, habits that you are carrying out every single day. That's the reason why you're feeling broken. That's the reason why you're feeling like nothing has worked for you. That's the reason why it feels like a failure, because you need to switch some things up. That's why disruption was here. It literally, because there's been my prayer a lot of times. My prayer a lot of times has been like, I will go to God and be like, I'm not strong enough. I am weak, and I just need you to remove this person. I need you to help me with. God has to come in and be the disruptor and go ahead and put me on a whole different track. And I really believe that it is divine. What we call it, the divine intervention. Anything else from this deck here? Let's try to be up here, because I don't want to keep it over. And I tell you, they want to throw that out over there anyway. Because protection was at the bottom of the deck, I wouldn't be surprised if Archangel Michael is doing this, because cards are always very aggressive sometimes, throwing cards at me. So this has constantly been coming out. Somebody is blocked or needs to be moved on from something. So I said that is the disruption that when it came out, I heard that it's actively happening. And so it's like it's a situation where there's no more words to it. Person just needs to just stop reaching out, stop trying, and you need to exhibit the strength to be able to navigate that without feeling like you owe them anything to be able to continue communication. So it's seeming like, because it was very general in the beginning, like, oh, it's something, no, it's someone, because when family came out, chaos, you have nightlife, and somebody that you moved on from is clearly a person. This is having to do with some type of relationship, whether it's family, friends, romantic, platonic, whatever. It's a relationship that was very chaotic, and that spirit had to come in and is causing this tower moment for it to be over. And you're nervous. You're scared. There's mystery here. You're scared that you don't know what's going to happen. You didn't really want to let go, even though you knew this was a situation that was deeply affecting you on a negative ebb. And it was a lot of risky behavior. You were doing things that you wouldn't normally do. The spirit is saying now it's time. It's the tower moment is happening, because it is the opportunity for you to have some growth, leaning into your healing, care for yourself, and then be decisive so that you can go ahead and align yourself with the abundance that you have waiting on the other side of the situation. So with that being said, I hear, don't worry, be happy. Don't worry about it. Whoever you pray to, they still in control. They still got your back. It's all right. And I'm here. Spirit is telling me to tell somebody, whoever is in here right now, that loneliness never was and won't be the problem. It's not. Do some spiritual symbols before we do some cosmic guidance. But I want to close, I think, with cosmic guidance, just to make sure we can stay on the path of what exactly we need to do as we were being told to be more decisive and go ahead and allow this tower moment to happen. Allow spirit to remove this out of your life. Because if you're like me, you had prayers where you just said, I know this ain't right for me, but I'm not strong enough to do this on my own. So we'll end with that, because we want to make sure we know exactly what it is we can do. But let's get some spiritual symbols just to go ahead and continue to solidify this message. Again, today is Wednesday, so it is about communication. A good day for this spirit communication, education, learning. Just seeking some clarity. We talked about planetary alignments when we first opened up. Thank you for being here and exchanging energy with me. My name is Lola B, and you have joined my 30 days of Glamour Magic stream. Even though I am doing something different today, because I had to honor my intuition and go with my mood, and we are doing a reading instead, you can join me here for glamour techniques and tips to be able to add to your current grimoire. It's a teaching platform, so make sure if you want to get comfortable when you're here, go ahead and bring a notebook, any supplies if you want to do the makeup application with me, reflective surface for the ritual, as well as your questions and your insight. We already went over our code of ethics as well as our rule of 3, and we've prayed, and we are just pulling cards for the energy, and we're trying to go ahead and round out this message. Spiritual symbols. Focus on the now. Practice mindfulness to be present in the moment and gain insight. So yes, mindfulness, meditation, that had already came out with healing. So Spirit is doubling down on that message to let you know that's what you should be focused on right now. Silence the noise and go ahead and go within. Because the tower moment that had to happen, because it was so much chaos, you need to invite peace in, and you have to be intentional about that. Same way you intentionally got with this person and engaged in whatever this relationship was, whether it was kinship or family, whether it was platonic friendship, whether it was romantic, sexual, it doesn't matter what it was, that was a choice. And so now you have to choose peace, and you have to cultivate it. The Spirit is saying practice mindfulness to be present in the moment insight. Even stuff like this is helping you to gain insight. So you are in the right place at the right time. It's 12 on the clock. It's somebody's mama. Somebody's mother was emotionally manipulating them, giving guilt trips. Ooh, I hate that. It's give my headache deepened. Very hateful. Mental manipulation is what I'm hearing. Emotional manipulation on the card, but when my head buzzed, it was mental manipulation. Oh, Jesus, the love of a mother, for it to not be the way that God intended is just always very sad to me. Somebody's mother is who caused these problems. Or, I just heard the person that you had went through the situation with that you had to cut off, they have mommy issues. One of the two. Somebody had mommy issues, or it was whoever this message is for, it is your mother, and they weren't nurturing. They weren't utilizing and operating in the true feminine energy in the way that they were supposed to. And so somebody got some mommy issues. I hate that. Thinking of Spirit, I'm a mom. Nonconformist came out. It says somebody is scared and they feel very misplaced and misguided in society. Somebody who is either you or the person that you had to cut off, who they just rebel for the sake of rebelling. They just be doing stuff. They don't even really have a reason to do the stuff they do. And it's just laced in fear and not knowing who they are and not showing up for self. And it was that mother that propelled that situation from a very young age. Somebody, like I said, that nightlife came out and is doubling down. This is trying to get specific about who this message is about or who this message is for. A risk taker. They said helpless but powerful. That's a little bit dangerous. How you gonna be helpless but powerful? Because if you have power and you know how to use it, you should not be helpless. Somebody just had this thing where they play too much, they don't take stuff serious. But they have serious issues, and I think that playful nature, they were hiding behind that because that was a defense mechanism so that people wouldn't think anything was ever wrong with them. I don't believe in fake it till you make it, but I do believe in aligning yourself. That was like, it's one thing to just be putting on a front, a mask, a performance to make people think that everything is okay when you're not okay, or hiding behind as a coping mechanism certain behaviors so that people don't think something is wrong. You want to appear strong when you're not. Different than standing in front of the mirror, doing the mirror work and saying, I am strong. That's not the same thing. You see what I'm saying? Yep, somebody just feels stuck and they're in heavy resentment. They got inner demons that they're fighting. Might even have some physical sicknesses from some karma. Just reckless. They were reckless. They didn't have no order, no balance to their life. Because see, I wanted to say routines, but that's not it. Because everything you do is a ritual, right? So even though you may not set an alarm, but then like I say, your natural, what do they call it? The rhythm. It's a word. I can't think of the word, but that rhythm, it just has you getting up at 10, 11 o'clock every day. You'll never have to set an alarm. But then maybe that's not healthy. Maybe you are sleeping in when you should be getting up. You know what I'm saying? Having some prayer time or like getting up and doing some chores or something, like starting your day a different way. So even though you're not waking up to an alarm, but you wake up literally at 12 noon every single day, that's a habit, that's a routine. So it's not an intentional one, but it's one that was formed. And then once you get stuck in that, you shouldn't live haphazardly. You shouldn't just, I believe in going with the flow, but it's also different than just not caring and just not having no type of order and structure in your life. Now, how do you expect to manifest or call in anything or command anything, or really, like, you in the driver's seat, or are you in the back seat? Not even a passenger. Are you in the driver's seat or are you in the back seat of your life? You don't even know, because you're indecisive. You're impulsive. You will do things on the fly, but being indecisive means when you are in a position where you actually have to use your physical brain to make decisions and to think, you have a hard time doing that. Cross came out, and I don't know if I want to put it back because I don't, these cards are reversals, and I don't know what way it came out. So I'm going to put it back and let Spirit guide me, because I don't know. That's the reason why that person is experiencing delays, or that if it's you, because you're not being decisive, live too reckless, you got some habits, and it's like, it's time to stop. But that's the reason why Spirit is telling you to get away from that person, because they iron sharpeneth iron. Bad communication corrupt good manner. You cannot think that you're strong enough in every sense to be around somebody that is living like this. Yep, healing. This is the second time healing came out, and it's saying that distractions are not a quick fix for deeper issues. So even when we try to distract ourselves, we think it's something healthy, distracting is still a distraction. The Spirit is saying it's just time, because clock came out right before that, to just cut that out. And so the issue here is holding on to the past, and that's the reason why it had to be a disruption, divine intervention, to help you to let go, because you're just holding on. And I was just talking about not having no structure and stuff like that. It's time to restore balance, because again, in the beginning, Spirit said the healing will prepare the growth. The growth will propel the healing. That's the cycle. That's the oscillation, the back and forth that we're trying to get into after we get out of that. After that tower moment, go ahead and remove this other chaotic energy out, if that makes sense. Somebody might be, they ain't trying to let go too easy. Again, that is, I keep hearing, these are some of the reasons why Spirit came in with the divine intervention, because somebody is still keeping tabs out of boredom and curiosity and maybe loneliness. They definitely have accepted a lot of emotions that are just not healthy, and they're not letting go, but you need to. It's imperative. But somebody is definitely still orbiting in your energy, and it's not healthy. So do some blocks. Set protection at the bottom of the other deck. It is important, even if you're going to spend time on the internet, to also set up the protections in the digital space as well. Divinely guided. Stay aligned with your highest dreams and ideas to find success. So that's when Spirit was telling you before, with the possibilities card came out about being decisive. And we're talking about alignment. When it comes to that, you have to be specific. Make up your mind about what you want to do, because you know that you have free will. Don't nobody got to say that to you. You get up every day and do what you want to do. Nobody has to, you have free will. Nobody has to remind you that you get up every day and do exactly what it is that you want to do. So stay aligned is what the card said, but I'm hearing get aligned. It's time to get aligned, because again, we're trying to get out of a certain energy and go into another one. So you have to make a decision, because you could hang on to this person, or you could let them back in, because when block came out, it was like, it's either you need to block them or you have already blocked them. You can unblock them if you want to. It might not be the best thing to do, but you have free will. It was already talking about a relationship where God is trying to come in to be a disruption, help you end it, because somebody that you have holding on to or had this romantic relationship with, they ain't right. So we gotta tell the truth and shame the devil about somebody who's just like, when nightlife came out, it was like risky behavior, just kind of unhinged, impulsive, just doesn't have like no healthy habits or routines, a risk taker, holding on to the past, causing a lot of stress and a lot of issues. And so Spirit is trying to get you to understand that you need to choose you. Spirit wants to bring some good things into your life. It wants to help you do that, but you gotta let go. And also what the truth needs to propel us to be able to do into the action that needs to happen. But possibilities came out way before you, and it was talking about just being decisive. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out what life you want to live. Figure out what type of relationship. That's what I hear your spirit team saying. We know that things take time. They're asking you to be decisive, literally, and hit the start button so that the process can begin for the healing. Because again, Spirit said in the beginning that the growth will propel the healing. We're trying to get in that oscillation of energy and get out of the chaos. Don't ever stop yourself from crying when you want to. And like I said, increase the water, take some showers, take a bath, drink some water, go sit by a body of water. I don't know where you're located, so oceans, lakes, ponds, streams, puddles, it don't even matter. Water is water, and it's powerful. And Spirit is saying you need to call that more into your life and cleanse to help you to get this part of what you need to help get through this. Sit outside in the rain. It has to be in the rain, like on you, but if you have like area like a porch or custom covered when it's rain, you can actually be in the rain without being in the rain, if that makes sense. Or maybe just sitting right by the window with the blinds open so that you can actually take the energy from the water. I'm just hearing that you need more water in your life. The flow and current of water can erode and break down a mountain, but then water can cleanse. It's not easy to let go, but it's time to cut the cord. So it's okay with acknowledging where you are, and it's okay with being able to say, like, you know what, I don't feel strong enough, and that's why divine intervention is at play. That's why Spirit said this tower moment is yet happening. It's going to help you to detach, but you got to lean into it. They want to know, are you ready? Is this what you want to do? Because they can't do it for you. They can do it with you. I've had plenty of times. Spirit gave me a way of escape, and I got out and went straight back. So when we say learn the lesson, clear the karma, what we're saying is if God is going to help you to go into a new healthy relationship, pay attention. Stop trying to turn red flags to green. Be mindful. Watch and pray is what Spirit says. So that means that as you're playing out these scenarios and as you're interacting, stay in prayer, stay in meditation. Don't stop praying to make sure so that if you miss something, God can be like, pay attention, that ain't it. So don't be afraid to open yourself up to a new person. Discernment only comes when you trust your intuition. Discernment only comes when you're praying and you difference between your voice, God's voice, the enemy's voice, or anybody else. A lot of that volatile stuff and a lot of what you've been going through with that person, that becomes your inner voice. And that's what God is saying He's trying to get you out of. That's why disruption was here. He's going to stop it right in the tracks, but you have to allow it. They're saying, be decisive. Make up your mind about what you want to do, because you cannot. They said a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You got to figure out you can't dip and dabble. So as we're learning, you're saying today was Wednesday, planetary energy was Mercury. You're saying we have been talking about it being communication and education and learning, governing the solar plexus chakra. So that's going to be significant to you as well. The chakra that you need to be aligned with. This is the actual meditation music that I am playing. 528 hertz frequency for you to be aligned with that chakra. It is your third energy center, so it's down here, upper abdomen area. So if you have any issues with digestion or anything, because it deals with your digestive system, your metabolism, that your gut is your actual first brain. Everything that happens, you know what I'm saying, we need to pay attention to our gut. So you getting these gut feelings, stop ignoring your gut. You right, you feel it here. This energy should propel you. It's willpower, decision making, and inner strength, and you got it. I hear Spirit say you're at the point where it's muscle memory. You have what it takes because you did it before. That's the chakra that you need to be aligned with. And all right, guys, we want to switch up a little bit. We want to see if we can tap into this energy to see new beginning. Ace of Wands in the upright. That growth came out again. It's potential here. We all know what potential means because we all have free will. And when it comes to being an avatar in other people's timelines, they can make a decision that can change a trajectory and have it go in a different direction. You can make a decision and have it go in a different direction. So the potential means that it could be a potential positive new beginning if you are both on the same page. So with that being said, because you got a lot of self-doubt here with judgment in reverse at the bottom of the deck, and a little bit of lack of self-awareness because you're just ignoring what I was saying, what your intuition is saying to you. That's why you're having such a difficult time making a decision, because you're just not listening to yourself. You're just criticizing. You keep thinking that you're more responsible for the state of the relationship than the other person. And I understand. Yeah, sometimes we need to take some time before we jump into another situation. But what do you think relationships are all about? What do you think we're here for? We're here for relationships and family. And relationships are all about being the mirror to the other person, to propel them to be their best selves. Because the point I was trying to make was sometimes that next companionship will help you. When you're getting treated with kindness and somebody is being genuine, it can help you. And I said you have to rush the new situation and everything like that. But a little pros and cons and compare and contrast chart, even if it's just mental, it can help you. It might help you to lean more into the new situation so that you can go ahead and get out of this old one, because you need to break a cycle. I was saying the reason why I know that without even knowing you is that I've learned from Cryon, an entity that I listen to channel messages from, that just asking the right questions, when you're curious and you're asking about raising vibrations and positive things and just trying to right wrongs, and just when you're asking the right questions, that shows your heart condition. You are an amazing person, and I hope that you feel that you are. Good. Queen of Pentacles coming up here, nurturing. You're somebody who is very practical and nurturing, and it means a lot of your energy separated from this person is starting to come out. Magician. If they want forgiveness, and we understand that forgiving, you can offer that. You don't have to be cruel, but that forgiveness is still not for them, it's for you. Because unforgiveness allows them access to your heart. So the Magician is here to remind you that yes, everything is magical, and you need to go ahead and use the alchemy that you are in tune with. These are things that you know. So I'm not telling you nothing that you don't already know. to be able to go ahead and get yourself in the right frame of mind, body, and spirit. Lean into this new situation, even if it's temporary, even if it's just platonic. Sometimes we do need a kind soul to come along to remind us that there are still good people out there. That just because I was with a crappy person and we had a crappy relationship, and just because I love them, does not mean that's where love starts or ends. And that's the message. You just gotta want it for yourself. And I believe that you can do it. All up and through here. So then this last portion could be for any and everybody. It is 1:11 on the clock. And I'm going, remember who you are at the bottom of the deck without the shuffle. You are powerful. You are amazing. You are love. You are the embodiment of God and personification of them in the universe. We got to stop playing small. We got to stop playing small. We got to use our power. You don't like the situation that you're in, you have the power to change it. Take some time, get some rest. Like I said, connect to the water. Do what it is that you need to do. Heal your heart and trust your intuition. You have a lot of passion and energy. You're inspired to go after more. You believe in love. And I hear that you're not going to allow it to disrupt your view of you love and relationships. And that's good. So make sure you hold on to that. Remind yourself. Love itself is a vibration that exists without our involvement. It's like a lot of stuff in this realm. We're here, but a lot of stuff is existing. A lot of stuff is in place. It don't have nothing to do with whether we participated or not. So let's make sure that when we're having relationships and the person that we're playing out the dynamic with is not expressing the love right, that don't make love bad. That makes the way that they showed the love bad. That way, then we can still be open to love expression from another. Forgiveness. Set yourself free. I didn't even have to shuffle that one. You can always inbox if you're interested in any other further guidance or help, cord cutting, cleansing rituals, setting intentions, anything like that. I do a lot of energy work. And Spirit is telling me to say this, even though people don't understand why I operate like this, but Spirit is telling me to say this. There's all different types of currency. Coin currency is just one. And I don't put a lot of emphasis on somebody giving me coin currency in order for me to assist them. I know what my purpose is here on this planet. I know why I'm incarnate right now in this realm. And I have suffered enough, and I'm not going to be selfish with the gift that I have just because I want to demand coin currency from somebody. So that's for anybody that is still here, even though it hasn't been a lot at any given time, that if you resonate or you're part of the collective that resonates with my soul essence, whether that was one video you came across, a live, or just anything, I then can make myself available to assist you. And it ain't all about money. Increasing followers, again, if we're going to go for the manifestation route, I most definitely can teach you how to bring those things. I manifested my entire life. The part that I struggle with also is relationships. So everything else, I could definitely, cars, houses, money, I can help you. But I just wanted to say that because that's what we're here for. We're here for service. We're here to help each other. And not everybody has the coin currency to do that, to do that. I believe in reincarnation. So Spirit helped me understand the breakdown of lifetimes and timelines. And so we're in a life, but this life, we can have multiple timelines where I didn't exit the life cycle, but I can go into a whole different timeline, or different timelines could be existing simultaneously. And this one ain't working for me. So let me go to it. Let me align with the different timeline, my different self, a life that is more suited to my growth and where I want to be. So that's what it is. You need to just call in a whole different timeline, align yourself with a timeline that better suits where you need to be headed, and let go of the toxicity. Like I said, I appreciate those that have followed, to continue to share with other people. If you know it's other people that may be in similar situations where they can benefit from this energy, or any of the lives. I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me in your energy. And I'm hoping that I said some things that can help you too. I would be my prayer. When I say I'm going to pray for somebody, I tell them exactly what I'm going to pray for, because you have to be careful. Can't let everybody pray for you. But I pray for your strength. I pray for the balance of rest and relaxation. And I pray for the courage. Continue being yourself, showing up as yourself, and finally get to the point to make the decision that you need to make. Ladies and gents, so we do not have to close the portal. However, if you don't mind, I still can do a little quick closing prayer. And then y'all can go ahead and continue to enjoy the new year wherever you find yourself in the spirit. We just are so grateful for the energy. This was actually something I needed. Believe it or not, my head is not hurting anymore. Energy helps me. So again, thank you for being here. So Spirit, we thank you. We thank you for the energy. We thank you for the messages, the clarity, the concern and care that you have for each and every person that was here, that needed to hear the messages that came forth. And we make a promise to ourselves that we will at least be dedicated to the self-care portion, that we're going to abandon those things as we're going into a new calendar year that no longer serve us, being able to walk away, cut off, prune, whatever may be applicable at whatever stage in our journey that we are in, and having the clarity, again, the concern and the care to focus on self, because I cannot give to another. I cannot love another. I cannot, just everything starts with self. So we thank you for self. We thank you for being connected to the lower self, being connected to the higher, being connected to the lower, in balance, in harmony, and in peace. Ashe. Thank y'all for joining me. My name is Lola B. I am a psychic into a channeler, and this is the Moon Mood. Be blessed, and I will see you next time.